What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing out there? It's your boy, the Maestro speaks. I am here with another live video. And this, I don't know if you can see the title or what, if you read the title, but the title of this video is simple. You are who God says you are. Let that sink in for a moment. You are who God says you are. Think about it. The master of the universe, in all of his wisdom, in all of his wisdom, he created. Hey Andy, what are you doing, man? Everything good? Appreciate you for coming over, man. Appreciate you for coming over. The master of the universe and all of his wisdom, he created you. He created you, which means that there is a distinct purpose or reason that you're here. You're not a mistake, man. Okay? So you got to get that in your head first. You're not a mistake. So many times, we allow the opinions of others to make us feel some type of way. So many times in life, we allow what they have to say about us to make us feel a certain type of way. But you have to believe within yourself. You have to believe within yourself that you are who God says you are. And what does God say about you? He says that you are made in my image and you are made in my likeness. That means that you look just like Him and you have similar traits and characteristics that make your nature like His. As simple as that. So why would you believe something else? Whose report will you believe? Whose report will you believe? That's the question. Whose report? Are you going to believe a stranger's report or are you going to believe God's report? That's the question. You're going to believe a stranger's report or are you going to believe God's report? Because you got two reports, God's own and a stranger's own. Think about it. Think about it. And God is absolute truth. Anything outside of God is absolute nonsense. It's absolute lies. So why would you believe someone else's report outside of God's report? Hmm? I want you to let that sink in for a moment, man. I see with me, right? As an individual, me, the maestro. I have to believe in myself every day. I also have to believe in what God says about me every day because there are so many voices out there that could distract you. There's so many voices out there that can distract you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you, man. Andy White, I really appreciate you. You know, yeah, there's so many different voices out there that can distract you. But I like to listen to the voice that will attract me. The voice of God is what attracts me, babe. Nothing else attracts me. As a matter of fact, I could care less about someone's opinion because that's what it is. It's an opinion. A lie only becomes truth is if you believe it. I heard that in a movie once, and that stuck with me up even until till this day as an adult. A lie only becomes truth if you believe it. The question is, are you going to believe the lie? Are you going to believe the stranger's report? That's what you gotta see. That's what you gotta ask yourself. I will not believe a stranger's report. I will not believe a stranger's report. I won't. No, I will not believe a stranger's report. I believe in God's report. I believe in God's report. I believe in God's report. Because see, God's report is true. God's report is true. Everything else is a lie. So you have to believe the truth. You have to believe the truth. You have to be willing to accept what he says about you. And forgive me for looking away, guys. I'm trying to set things up here. It's only me one doing this thing, so you see what I'm saying? It's only me one here doing what I gotta do, so you gotta forgive me. So, how do you feel about you? How do you feel about you? That is the question of the day. How do you feel about you? Do you feel good about yourself or do you feel bad about yourself? Do you feel good about yourself or do you feel bad about yourself? You have to feel good about yourself. As a matter of fact, we serve a God that's good. His intentions are good. So whether you believe it or not, it's good. And He created you with a purpose. He created you to do something significant in the universe. Why would I believe? Why would me? Why would I believe a lie? Because all my life, I've heard so many different opinions about me. You would hear some people say, "Oh, he's such a smart person," or then you would have some people say, "Oh, he ain't know nothing." You have varying degrees of opinions. You have varying degrees of opinions. But what are you going to believe? What are you going to believe? I choose to believe God's report of me. I believe in what He has to say about me because God's opinion is not an opinion. God's word is true. God doesn't have an opinion because He's God. So why would I believe someone else outside of God? Think about it. Think about it. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? In life, in life, there are so many voices out there to listen to. There's so many voices out there that you can listen to. The question is, what voice will you listen to? Will you listen to the outer voice or will you listen to the inner voice? How do you feel about you? How do you feel about you? Do you feel good about yourself or do you feel bad about yourself? You know something? And it's very easy, it's very, very easy to feel bad about yourself, because there's so many things going on in this world that can make you feel bad about yourself. You got on the television, let's just say you were a little heavy on the little heavy side. You got a commercial that said, "Oh, you need to lose weight because you on the slim side." There's this other commercial saying, "Oh, you need to do something to gain some weight." Like I said, it's up and down. The opinions of others are like a seesaw. They are up and down, up and down. The opinions of others are like a seesaw. They are up and down. They're not stationary. God's fact about you is stationary. God's fact about you is progressive. God's fact about you is yea and amen. Because God, He's the manufacturer. He's the one who created you So therefore, he knows exactly what you could do. God knows exactly what you could do. So you have to tap into that thing that God knows that you can do. You have to marry the two. You have to marry the two. Think about it. Hey, Sanara, how you doing, man? Everything good? Yeah. I just wanted, I came on this live feed today. I just wanted to encourage. That's my thing, man. I like to encourage, man. I don't have time to spew negativity because it doesn't help. It really doesn't help anybody. Positivity is what helps. Negativity brings it to not brings everything down. And there are times in life that we have to combat the negativity with the positivity. So the question is, like I said earlier, what are you going to do? What are you going to believe about yourself? Will you believe what God has said? What that inner voice that was telling you long time that you could do it, that was telling you long time that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, that was telling you long time that you are the image and likeness of God, that was telling you long time that you are the unmerited favor of God on two legs, that was telling you long time that you are a conduit of wealth because money comes to and through you. I was telling you long time that you are above and not beneath. That was telling you long time that you are God's original idea. That's the thing. Will you listen to that? Or will you listen to the naysayers? Will you listen to the naysayers? Will you listen to the commentators? Will you listen to the person who just spew that negativity? Another thing that can really get to you if you don't have the confidence to believe, when you don't get that support, like we have this thing, saying like we like to say that, oh, we don't like to support one another, we don't like to support, oh, this one don't like to support, we don't like to support. If you mind that, you would never move forward because it hurts when you're not being supported. It's don't mind people are tough, like, oh, I'm macho, I'm Mr. and Mrs. Macho. When you do not receive support, that hurts and it hits to the core. It hits you to the core. Sometimes the lack of support can come from the very persons who you thought would have your back. The lack of support can very well come from the persons who you think would have your back the most. They would see you in the trenches. They would see you grinding. They would see you hustling. They would see your action, but they will not support you. That can discourage you. And this is when you have to dig deeper. Because the thing is, the Bible says that whenever you do something, you're doing it unto God. You ain't doing it for man. So if you're doing it for man, you can be discouraged and you ain't gonna never do nothing. If you're doing it for man, you're gonna just fall by the wayside and you can just let live. You're not going to you're not gonna really what I can say, you're not gonna really do what you're supposed to do if you're doing it for man, because man's opinions are like a seesaw. It goes up and down. There's no stay. Trust me, you go to 100 different persons right now. They might find 100 things wrong with you. If you take a poll and you go to 100 people right now, and I'm going back and forth because I got Facebook and YouTube going simultaneously. So forgive me if I look like I look in. Yeah. If you go to 100 persons right now, you're gonna have 100 opinions of you. This is why I go to one God. You got 100 people with 100 opinions, and then you got one God. Think about it. First of all, you must understand that God created 100 people. Watch this now. Watch this. These 100 persons together collectively, their level of understanding is not as heightened as God's understanding. If you put the 7.2 or 1 billion persons in one room, None of them to collectively, we're talking, have the level of understanding what God has. We're talking about 7 billion people. As a matter of fact, if you go back in time from the beginning of time from Adam, and you take all of the patriarchs, all of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, all of them, Joseph, the 12 tribes, the names, the brothers, all of Reuben, Judah, Naphtali, Issachar, all of those brothers, if you take all of them with Mary, the mother of Jesus, the disciples, those persons who followed, if you take all of them and you up until this time with all of them together, all the Psalms, all that, and all us, billions of people, all of them collectively, their level of understanding isn't as high as God one, because God created all of them. He created all of us. Therefore, in order for us to get our true worth, we have to target the one true God who created us. And this is where the Maestro gets his belief from. I get my belief system from him. He's all by himself wonderful. He's all by himself glorious. He is all by himself worthy to be praised. He's all by himself absolute understanding. He is all by himself omniscient, omniscience. He is always full of knowledge. He has brimming over knowledge. So I'm gonna consult him. And when you consult him, he tells you, ah, I have created you for a purpose. I've created you. As a matter of fact, biologically speaking, when your father and your mother had fun the other night, when I say the other night, when you are being, yeah, when the conception happened, before the conception happened, there was like millions of sperms that raced towards your mother's womb, and you were number one out of millions of sperm. If that don't cause you to shout, you just can't. You just something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. You are one in a million. You came to this earth first. You came to this earth first. So I don't understand the person who's first acting like they're last. I don't understand the person who is first acting like they're last. And when I say acting like they're last, I'm talking about persons who abuse their bodies, who waste time, who commit crimes, you understand, who do things that are not right. You are wasting your time, and you're the one that you were here first. You beat out all of those sperms in your mother's womb, and you made it, and you're here, and you're wasting time. And on top of that, you letting what someone else say, who ain't even create you, determine who you are. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. And see, this is the thing what caused me to realize. This is the thing that caused me to realize who I was. When I figured that out, all hell broke loose after that. When I figured that out, all hell broke loose after that. This is why I don't concern. I'm not consumed by persons' opinions. I don't care what you think about me. Honestly, I used to. I used to years ago. I ain't like, because I'm a human being. I have feelings like everybody else. Everybody got feelings, Everybody got feelings. I used to concern myself about the opinions of others. And then I started to realize, I understood, boy, something? There's no other person who's like me on this planet, Dread. There's no, and we say Dread in the Bahamas, those are international people who might watch this video. When I say Dread, I don't mean I'm dreading something. That's just a Bahamian term of when we say that, that's like excitement, dread, and it's all dread. So you get it right. But I'm just saying that when I tapped into that knowledge of who I was, this is when everything started to unfold. This is when everything started to make sense. Everything made sense. And how is it that the children of darkness, right? And we call them dark, we call them children of darkness. But how come the ones who the Bible call the children of darkness, how come they, for somehow, are able to tap into this revelation, and we who call ourselves Christians or children of God or whatever have you, how come we, a lot of us, I can point to myself too, how come we cannot embrace this? In school, young kids out there, they call you say, okay, you're PZA and all that different things. Yeah, you're black self, like that's a bad thing to be of color. Okay, you're black self, and they saying it in a derogatory sense. But yeah, you're black self. Really? The creator, he made you. He made you. He made you the color that you are, the skin that you're in. He made you. He made you. He made you. The creator made you. He made you. That's something to celebrate. That's something to celebrate, man. That's something to be like, hey, and get excited for. The creator made you. And you're here for a purpose. You're not a mistake. You are not a mistake. Please believe me. Please believe me. You are not a mistake. You are not a mistake. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what the devil says. You are not a mistake. He's a mistake. Satan is a mistake. Not you. His opinions about you is a mistake. The persons out there who say badness about you, they're a mistake. Their opinions are a mistake. God created you. So embrace your blackness. Embrace your whiteness. Embrace your big nose, your big teeth, your gap in your teeth. Like me, I got a big gap, my bald head, I got all that. I am embracing myself. I'm celebrating myself. I love myself because it is God who first loved me. He made me who I am. He made me who I am. Therefore, I must celebrate and I must walk with a sense of triumph. I must walk with a sense of pride. I must walk with a sense of dignity. I must do so. And I will continue to do so as long as I live, as long as I have breath in my body, as long as I have breath in my body, I will walk with that level of grace. I will walk with that level of understanding. You must do the same. You must do the same. You must do the same. And embrace your authenticity. Embrace the thing that makes you different, man. Embrace the thing that makes you stand out. Embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace the thing that makes you stand out. We must do this. And when you do it, oh man, everything gonna be gravy. I telling you, I telling you, I telling you. Hey, Every Joy, how you doing, man? Ever Joy, what's up, man? What's up? Now I can tell you all right. I don't like the whole typing thing. I don't really type because I got my one hand. I actually hold in my hand in one hand my phone, so it's going to be difficult. So I'm gonna just verbally shout you out. So don't feel bad if I don't type or nothing, because I don't have no bunch of moderators and all that stuff. No, I don't have any. I don't have any of that. I'm just a young man who want to put out their positive messages for persons so that they can be happy with themselves. and they can run with it. So, hello, I appreciate you for coming. I really do from the bottom of my heart. You know you have to be here, but you're here. I love you for that, and I appreciate you. But we're talking about not allowing person's opinions to affect us because you are who God say you are. And once you keep that in mind, once you keep that in your mind, trust me, you're gonna be good, man. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Trust me, you're gonna be good. You're gonna be good. Never give up. Always believe. Always believe. And don't. And another thing that you must do, and I quote from the book now. Not that I trying to sell the book. No, I just quote from. I can quote just a little piece here. Don't pursue people. Stop pursuing people who don't value you. Stop pursuing people who don't value you because you're wasting your time. You're wasting precious energy. You're wasting precious energy to run behind people who don't even care about you. They don't have you to study. Like that's what we say in the Bahamas. They don't have you to study, meaning that they're not thinking about you. They rather be with somebody else around someone else because they see you as, well, you're not important. So why are you going to pursue the person who don't even care about you? So it speaks to a greater issue that you may have a lack. Because I used to do the same thing. Hey Tiffany, how you doing, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Everything all right? Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm here trying to bring, just trying to enlighten folk, man, because the world's there's so much negativity in this world. There's so much negativity in this world, we have to embrace um the positivity that is in the world. You were deposited in the world by God through your parents to make the world better. Because in and of itself, the world in and of itself, um, you know, it has its good and it has its bad. So you were deposited here through your parents to make the world better. The question is, what are you going to do because of the fact that you were deposited? What are you going to do? Or will you add to the wrong of the world through not accepting the fact or believing who God say that you are? When I decided to leave my job, right? I used to be a police officer, and I always tell folks this. Of course, how you by looking at me now, you probably wouldn't even believe that I was a police officer. You wouldn't even believe that because I know I don't look like one right now, but I used to be one years ago. I had to believe that I was not my job because I know that there was a different calling on my life, so I had to flee. I had to pull a Joseph on him. I had to run away and leave my clothes behind. I had to flee. I had to flee, flee, flee. I couldn't hesitate. I had to flee. Because if I had stayed, I would not be doing what I'm doing now. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an artist. I do trust me, yeah. I do a lot of stuff. I do a lot of stuff, man. I do a lot of stuff. But if I had stayed and believed that I was my job, I would not be living how I live now. I would not be impacting the world the way I'm impacting the world now. But I had to believe that what God say, right? I had to believe that what God say is it. I had to believe that. You gotta believe that, people. The question is, do you believe? I want you to type that in the comment section. Like I said, I don't have any moderators. No, I have no moderators. I'm by myself, just talking, just speaking. Type in the comment section. Do you believe? Do you believe who God say that you are? Do you believe? I want you to type that yes or no. I know it's a rhetorical question, but do you really believe? And what is belief? You say, God, what's up, man? Do you? Yeah, that's good. That's good. Someone believe. Excellent. Excellent. We got to believe in the house. Yes. You must believe. You must believe, people. And see, belief is not talk. Yes, you have to believe, Kyle. You have to believe who God say you are, brother. You have to believe, bro. Blessings to you too. You gotta believe, bro. God done say it. So what you can believe someone else for? Think about it. God Himself says that you are His image and His likeness. Now, to believe means that you have to embody the psychology. You can't just say it. Saying it is affirmations. Because I could say, I believe all day long. Now, if you say it with enough repetition, you then embody the belief and it becomes a part of you know, your makeup. That's when you believe. You start to walk into that next level of understanding. Hey, Cedric Store, what's up, man? You start to walk into the next level of understanding when you believe. When you believe, Parika Johnson, hey, what's up, man? How y'all doing? How you doing? You start to walk into the next belief of understanding when you believe. If you truly believe something, you're gonna, Les Brown, one of the greatest motivators of our time, he said something one time. He said, the worst thing that could happen to you is death. Once you can get over the fear of death, that's when you start to live. Once you get over the fear of death, that's when you start to live. So your belief system is tied to whether you fear death or not. If you fear death, you're gonna reserve, you're gonna be very safe and cautious. You're not gonna walk in newness of life because you cannot master what you are afraid of. You cannot master what you are afraid of. Because if you fear death, you can never master it. If you fear death, you will never take the risk. You won't quit your job tomorrow. If you if there's a talent that you have inside of you, if there's a talent that you have inside of you, and trust me, your talent will make you very uncomfortable. Your purpose will make you very uncomfortable when you're in that place of political correctness. I will say that again. Your purpose on this earth will make you very uncomfortable when you are in the place of political correctness because you're not in the right place. Let's put it this way. If you take your comb for your hair and you try to eat your food with your comb, you're going to have a problem. The manufacturer, when he created the comb for a distinct purpose. That comb was to comb your hair or whatever have you. Now, if you take your comb, right, and you try to eat with your comb, you're going to have a problem. As a matter of fact, they're going to call Sandilands for you. And for those who don't know what Sandilands is, it's a place in the Bahamas where they carry persons who are having a problem. They're cycle, they call them the crazy people. You also go to Sandilands if you want to detoxify, and if you are a drug addict and you want to detox, they take you to Sandilands. But if you take your comb and you're going to eat with your comb, that's a problem. The thing is, you have to be, listen, you have to be who God called you to be. And you got to say, you know what, the hell with political correctness. I am not checking for what you think. I am going to be who God. Hey, Maxine Pratt. Hey, Jeffrey Moss. Hey, my Crooked Island brother. What's up? You have to be who God called you to be, boy. Because if you're not, you're going to be very, very unfulfilled. You're going to be in that place of unfulfillment. Some of y'all in college right now, and y'all know y'all ain't supposed to be there. Boy, I know I can get in trouble for saying that. I'm going to get in plenty trouble for saying that because your parents tell you you got to go to college, you got to get a degree, and then you can be successful. The scholastic system tells you, and they preach this to you, and you so crazy to believe that. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with studying and getting information because information is good, but not everybody's supposed to go to college. Not everyone's supposed to go to college. There are some persons who's supposed to start businesses and be the boss, and that's it. You have to figure out where do you fit in the world's equation? Where do you fit in this world of chaos? Because you were created on this planet, you were placed here to make the world flow more better. The world's supposed to flow better because you're here. The universe is supposed to act different because you're here. When you step out of bed in the morning and you plant your 2 feet on the ground, you said, hey, Linda Forbes, hey, what's going on, man? What's up? Glad to have you, man. Glad to have you. When you plant your when you plant your 2 feet on the ground, you supposed to know why you plant your 2 feet on the ground. You understand? You here for a reason. The fact that you could stand up and walk and go somewhere, that means you need to make that time work for you. You need to make that time work. Time wasted. Hey, time wasting is a serious thing, you know. Time wasting is a serious, serious thing. You could I don't care how much money you have, you may never run out of money, but I guarantee you will run out of time. Time is the currency of this universe. You have to spend it wisely. And are you going to spend your time believing someone else's opinion? Or are you going to spend your time accepting God's original idea for your life? Are you? Because time, you could waste time in so many ways. Some people, yes, definitely, yes, definitely, Maxine Brad, yes. The world flow is better because you are here. But it's what you do when you're here. Because you got Charles Manson was a murderer. Okay? Adolf Hitler, you all know what he did. You all know these men did. Pablo Escobar, those persons who know about the drug, all the drug trade and all that stuff, Pablo Escobar was a serious fellow. He blew up billions and people and all kind of stuff. He used his time for something else. But the thing is, you have a reason to be here, and you can use your time for something so positive. You could impact the world. Okay, I'm on this live feed right now. I could have been somewhere else. I could have been in my bed, or I could have been doing something else. I say, you know what? Let me come on this live feed and encourage some folk. Let me speak to some folk. That's why I came on this live feed because I wanted to encourage some folk. Because right now, during this pandemic, when persons have lost their jobs, the last thing they need to hear is bad news. The last thing you need to hear is bad news. Because you turn on your television, you're going to hear bad news. And that's going to affect your belief system about yourself. Oh, jobs are disappearing. Oh my goodness. Jobs. But you're never supposed to look for a job. You're supposed to look for a problem to solve. People will pay you to solve their problem. You have to look for a problem to solve. Don't look for a job. What are you going to do when you look for a job and you can't find none? You have to become the job. Miles, Dr. Miles Monroe, God rest his soul, and my mentor. He said this: your job is what they pay you to do, your work is what you were created to do, your job is where they can fire you from, but they could never fire your gift. They could never fire your gift. And if the gifter, who is God Himself, has gifted you to be a gift to humanity, you think the gifter does not have you sorted out? You don't think your provisions have already been met even before you were born? You believe God put you here to suffer? You actually believe that? You believe that lie that you were placed on this earth to suffer? God, being supreme, somehow forget you? And He said, you know what? I can make you suffer? You only suffering because you don't believe, man. You all out there who ain't got no job, I know it's a difficult thing because I've lost my. Hey, listen, when I used to work for, I remember being without a job for a whole year. I remember the feeling, and trust me, it was a bad feeling. It and this is why. Another thing I want to tell you, like glad I got a little audience now. So I could really say it and say. This is why you need to surround yourself with positive people, persons who have a like-mindedness like you, who could uplift you. So sometimes, because when I didn't have a job, I remember I felt very bad about myself. My wife, and I thank God for my wife. I thank God. Mm, 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 mm. I thank God for Vanessa. I thank God for her. I thank God. Yes, Linda, you must have faith. We must have faith. I thank God for my wife because she said to me, there was one day that I was feeling very bad. I was feeling very low and I was very depressed. As the man of the house, I did not have a job. She had the job. I had no job. She was going to work. I had no work. I had no work. I said to her, I said, baby, I feel like a bum. I said, I feel like a bum. She said these words, and I'll never forget it. She said, you are not a bum. You are my husband. You have to believe. Boy, listen, I used to get a little emotional. 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 She said to me, she said to me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. She said to me that you are not a bum. She said, you're my husband. And trust me, trust me, trust me. I would walk on water for that woman. Wow. You need people in your corner, babe. When you don't have the strength to believe in yourself, you need people in your corner who could bear you up. Because sometimes we feel weak. Sometimes we feel weak, you know. We ain't perfect. We ain't perfect. We not perfect. You have to have a strong woman in your corner, man. I'm telling you, because sometimes it get hard. And the average man will tell you, if he's a real man and you really care about his family, there's a burden placed on him that a woman will never understand. She could try to, but only him and God. See, when God and man, when God and Adam was together talking, the woman wasn't around yet, and then the woman came after. God and man had some level of communication during that time. There's some things that men go through, some deep. We talking about in the nighttime when women are asleep. A real man in his mind is up. A real man never sleeps. And when I say never sleeps, I want you to understand where I'm coming from. A real man never sleeps because the thought of his family's future keeps him mentally up. I can say that again, man. I can say that again. A real man never sleeps because in his mind, his family in his mind keeps him mentally up. How could you sleep when your family ain't straight? The well being of our families is all we think about. All I think about is my future family. All I think about is I want things to be better for them than I had it. I can say it again, Kyle. A real man, think I can tell you, trust me. And we talking about uh, be- uh, you believe in what God say that you are. A real man, what keeps him up in his mind is his family. That's why he never sleeps, even though physically he might be sleeping. He's only sleeping physically because he's human, but mentally he's always up. And that's a level of, trust me, that's a level of pressure that the average woman would never understand. And this is why real men, we want to take care of our families. We want to give them what they deserve. Because you don't want your wife to suffer. You don't want your children to suffer. So when a man does not have his when a man does not have work, he feels worth less. And this is when the devil comes in his mind. This is when the devil comes in his mind. And then the devil starts to say, boy, you know, you ain't what you thought you were, you know. And this is why you would see men go to the liquor store, consume alcohol continuously to drown out the pain. It isn't that men are it isn't that these fellas are alcoholics, you know. They are thinkaholics. And the pressures of life have them doing that. Because only a nutcase will want to destroy themselves. These fellas go to the bar and drink, 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 only to try to numb the pain that they feeling. And this is why you have to believe who God say you are. Because if you believe that, you would want to be alive long enough to live out that purpose. You'd want to be alive long enough because a smoking doctor is someone who got, like Miles Monroe used to say, a smoking doctor is someone who got plenty knowledge but he ain't got no wisdom. Because you could have knowledge, you could still kill yourself through stupid behavior. But if you really know who you are, you can do the right thing. It takes a woman of God to strengthen that man, bro. That's why God said, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Yes, sir. It takes a woman of God. It takes a strong woman, but it takes a strong woman to stand by that man. And then two, men as men. But I know how I get. I don't know how I get on this topic talking with the man and the woman. This pillow talk. Pillow talk is the show that is designed to talk about men and women, and that's me and my wife show. When we get together and we get real on that show, and that's Fridays. And this is a shameless plug, but that's the show on Friday, and it could be 8 o'clock. So I want you to be there. We're gonna be talking about grown folk stuff, issues that married folk face, because we've been married 14 years, 14 beautiful years. You understand? But you have to believe who God say that you are. I got 10 more minutes to go, and I can close, like they say in the Baptist church. I'm getting ready to close. And they don't never close. Because they preach, preach, preach. But in 10 minutes, 9 minutes, I'm gonna go. You have to believe who God say you are. Ah, yeah, respect, but I appreciate you, man. I appreciate y'all. Hey, and y'all in this feed and on YouTube, y'all who haven't subscribed to one no, they can't use this, they don't use that word. But just show love to one another. If you know what if you know what I'm talking about. Level up one another. Yeah, level up one another. Level up one another. That'll be a beautiful thing. Um, yeah. So you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in what the master say that you can do. And when you believe that, then you are able to walk on the water uh impossibilities. Impossibilities, sorry, not impossibilities. Impossibilities. Hey, Miss Nose, how oh wow. I'm glad that you're here. I'm grateful that you're here. I am grateful that you're here. You have to believe. You have to believe in who God says that you are. Once you do that, man, listen, you will go places you will never you can't even imagine. But you just gotta believe. I told you all I stepped out on faith. I left my job and I glad Miss the chief here, the Miss Knowles is here. She could tell you I left my job because see the job was something that I did, but it wasn't who I was. And you have to know who you are. Carl Jung, the philosopher, says, "Know thyself." You must know thyself. Once you know thyself, then you can be thyself, and you won't ain't ashamed of thyself. You show up as your true self in the universe to deposit the correct energy. You don't want to show up as an imposter because you cannot flourish as an imposter. I can say that again. You don't want to show up in this earth or universe as an imposter because you will never reach your highest potential as an imposter. You know why? Because the person who you emulate, they will always be above you. The person who you emulate will always be above you. So you'll always be like this because they're always above you. But when you are yourself, you create your own lane and you can thrive the way you're supposed to thrive. I'm telling you, once you believe in who God say you are, you can thrive, my friend. You will do some amazing things. This COVID 19 pandemic, so many businesses have been created, it's unbelievable because the persons they tapped into something that was higher, that was always in them, but it was out of their comfort zone. Sometimes you have to adjust yourself. You have to adjust yourself so that you can become uncomfortable temporarily because you don't want to ever be that thing when people say they want to be comfortable, you don't want to be comfortable because when you become comfortable, that's when you stop living. When you become comfortable, you just stop living. You don't want to be comfortable. You got to keep going. You must continue. When you leave this planet, that is when your work is over. That's your expiration date. That's your expiration date when you leave this planet. But as long as you're breathing, you will have a contribution to make. You could be 99 years old. You might can't hardly move. You might not have no teeth in your mouth, but you still can deposit. All right, Eric Erickson, the student of uh, uh, Sigmund Freud, who is known as the father of psychology, he says this: when you reach 60, you become reflective. You either become remorseful or you tell stories of how great you were. So you start patting yourself on your chest. You beat yourself on the chest. Eric Erickson, this is a psychosocial development. When you reach 60 people, y'all who 60, I don't know when you are 60 and who in this feed, but when you reach six, you ever notice that old people will always tell you stories about what they used to do? That is a part of their psychosocial development. When you are 50, you want to give back. That's the psychosocial element, all right, that you're in at age 50. When you're 60, you then either remorseful or you just tell stories of what you did and you pat yourself on the chest. But I tell you, I want to debunk Eric Erickson. I don't want to dismiss him because what he's saying is true. What I want to say is that as a 60-year-old, as a 70-year-old, as an 80-year-old, you still have a contribution to make so that you won't rely on those old stories to make you feel valuable. There are some people who rely on their old stories to make them feel valuable. Your greatest enemy of your success, sorry, your greatest enemy of your progress is your last success. Your greatest enemy of your progress into the future is your last success. Because you can get so caught up on what you did, you stop doing. Oh, I remember I used to be this person. I remember I was this. I remember. You need to stop remembering because those days are over. The question is, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now with the time you have? Forget about it. Philippians, they all know the scripture. This one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, but reaching forward onto the things which are before. You must press towards the mark of the high calling. You must press forward. It's incumbent upon you to press forward, not looking backwards. Because if you walk in forward with your head back, you don't have any sense of direction. In this season, in this season, you have to understand that your sanity is at stake, your belief is at stake. You're either going to believe, let me tell you something, y'all. You could believe, and I would say this right, but I'm trying to see how I can say this. In organizations there are various degrees of hierarchy. You have the hierarchy. Okay, we're talking about. I want to talk about Max Weber a little bit, but hey, live out loud. What's up? What's up, what? Wow, glad to see you on this feed, man. Yeah, in the workspace, right? There are various levels of the hierarchy. Okay, you have various levels. In those various levels, there is a level of bureaucracy that exists, right? There is a level of bureaucracy because if you want to go to the second stage, no, if you want to go to the third stage, they tell you you have to go through the second stage. That's how that is how that is how they set it up, right? This is what frustrates the individual who has a listen, man. And this is my take on the iron cage theory. All right. Now, the iron cage theory of, and I know what I'm trying to figure what I'm talking about. The iron cage theory of Maximilian Weber, he has a different spin on it because he's the one who created the theory. But my spin on the iron cage theory is when you can go in grade 5, but they tell you because you were in past grade 2 to go into grade 3, you can't go to grade 5. But there's some folks among us who can literally skip grade 1 and go to grade 5. This is why you cannot believe what the educational system has to say about you. Okay? You cannot believe what the educational system has to say about you because they tell you you have grade 1, you have second grade, you have third grade, you have fourth grade. But what if you smart enough to go from the first grade to the fifth grade? Why would you allow a man-made system? This is why I keep trying to tell y'all. You can't base your confidence off of a man-made system. I had to free myself from the man-made system. I became the maestro when I liberated my mind from the man made system. This is when I became the maestro, the conductor of life symphony. I became the conductor of my life symphony when I detached myself from the man made system that tells you you have to do it this way. And if you don't do it that way, you will never succeed. Arnold Schwarzenegger said in an interview, don't break the law, just break the rules. Because rules are man made. Think about that. Don't break the law, people, because you're going to get arrested. But break the rules. Sometimes you have to defy the odds. You have to go against the grain. You have to go against the grain. You have to. You have to. You have to go against the grain, people. Now, like I said, y'all in the YouTube space, I don't have no, I don't have any moderators at this time, so I'm not able to do that whole moderator thing. But I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm just speaking from the heart. You have to go against the grain. Do not allow the bureaucratic system to frustrate you to the point where you don't move forward. You have to believe who God said that you are. Maslow, Abraham Maslow, the well-known psychologist, he has the pyramid, sorry, of self-actualization. At the very top of the pyramid, I like to talk about Maslow because it makes sense. You have to meet certain core needs in order to reach that level of self-actualization. Now you can reach that level of self-actualization unless you have certain core needs met. Okay, but I'm gonna tell you something. The the issue with Maslow is that based outside of certain core needs, we're talking about the need to be secure, the need for food and clothing and shelter and all that, and the need to be accepted by others. If you are psychologically damaged because of past experiences, it's very difficult to be self actualized. This is why you have to tap into something greater. And this is why you have to consult the manufacturer, you have to consult God. You have to consult him because see the man, listen, man. If you mind people and what they say and what they say you have to go through to be who you supposed to be, you ain't gonna never make it. You ain't gonna never make it. You ain't gonna never make it. Trust me, you will never make it. You have to tap in. And I can talk for 3 more minutes, probably, and I can disappear. Because I've been preaching. Hey, I've been preaching for a long time. I've been preaching for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I've been preaching for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you have to do this, man. You have to really, really believe in yourself and tap into that thing that's greater and to be self actualized, you really gotta get some healing, internal healing. Because some folks suffer abuse physically. mentally. They suffer that abuse. So it's very hard for an abused person to be self-actualized. So you have to get the healing first. And your healing is going to come through information. Remember I said when I was small, I didn't talk. I didn't speak my first word until I was 3 years old. So go figure. You see why I'm speaking? I spoke for all hours. I'm trying to make up for lost time. I didn't speak until I was 3 years old. Now, how do I go from not speaking until I was three to being what I'm doing now? Is God only because of God? Because I can't do nothing by myself. I cannot do anything by myself. It is in God I live. It is in God I have my being. He is the reason why I can do what I do. I give all praises to the Father above. He deserves the credit, not me. I'm just a vessel. I'm just a vessel for this time. There are many vessels that come and go, y'all. We just flowing right through. We're passing right through. You see what I'm saying? And another thing too, you can't trust the educational system. Give me 1 second. You can't trust the educational system. Yeah, you can't trust the educational system because if there's a defect in the educational system, 1 second, y'all. All right. If there's a defect in the educational system, Emil Durkheim, one of those thinkers in the 80s, talk about that too. Talk about functionalism and anyway. Uh, if there's a defect in the educational system, right? Let's say a child grows up, he goes to school. Remember now, they tell you you must get an education to be successful, and you will be a success once you get that education. That's what they tell you. But what they don't tell you is if there's a defect in the school that that child went to, where either the education was subpar in terms of the delivery, where the teacher probably was not passionate enough to project her information, his or her information properly, that will actually affect the way that that child flows in the future. So the child may become a criminal because of the absence. Y'all get the drift, right? So if there's a glitch in the matrix of life, you will have imperfection there. The thing is, whether there are glitches or not, you have a choice still to be who God called you to be. Let's put it this way, and this can be my clincher. This can be my clincher. When God created the universe, He started from the place of imperfection. When God created the universe, He started from the place of imperfection. The word says the world was out without. The word says that the world was without form and it was void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. So God started from the place of imperfection. That is the best place to start because it is in the imperfection that you can make things better. You don't want to start when everything is perfect. You don't want to see, we are not perfect as human beings. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. We are not, trust me, we're not perfect. But there is someone who that we could rely on who is perfect. And his strength is made perfect in our weakness. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. And because of that, ah, now I have a level of perfection that I can walk in and live and be a part of. Remember, Jesus walked on water. And I like to talk about that. Jesus walked on water. He took a stroll one day. the God of the universe, took a stroll one day on water because he knew who he was. You can only walk on the water of impossibilities when you know who you are. So Jesus decided to take a stroll, on water. He walking, mind his own business. And then the disciples were like, whoa, a ghost, a ghost, a ghost. And then Peter says, Lord, which means owner. He said, Lord, the word Lord means honor. He said, Lord, if it be thou, you bid me to come. And Jesus said, come. Peter stepped out of the boat. And the Bible says that Peter started walking on water. You will only know who you are when you stay connected, when your umbilical cord stays connected to the God above, because he feeds you intravenously through that umbilical cord. He makes daily deposits from heaven, man. Don't disconnect from the master. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to disconnect from the master, because when you detach yourself from the master, you will have disaster. When you declare independence of God, who is in the heavenly realm, in the celestial kingdom, you and the terrestrial are going to have a problem. So in order for you to live a fruitful life and to be who God called you to be, you have to remain connected to the heavenly source. All right? And saying that, I think I must go now. I think I must go now. So I want to say thank all of you guys for coming. I don't have no more. I didn't have no moderator, but God is. I guess God is my moderator. he makes sure things is flowing right. But I just want to say thank you guys for coming. Also, I want to remind you guys that Friday night at 8 o'clock is the show Pillow Talk. All right, that's what my wife and I am, the marriage life, that kind of thing. All right, we're gonna be talking for marriage. So thank you guys for coming. And the Maestro out. God bless you. Peace. And share this video, please. Y'all have a wonderful day.